anger was harder to suppress. "I did explain. They gave Darren my department that I'd built up for nearly 5 years, just because he's a man and plays golf. He's not even competent." "But a lot of people prefer to deal with a man. And golf's not only about the game, you know. A lot of business. I built up the lettings department without being a man or spending my spare time in the bar at the golf club." "Well, they wouldn't let you in unaccompanied." "I persuaded that Finnish company to use us to handle their relocation rather than one of the big Oxford firms." "I know. Peter was very pleased to get the business. He told me." "And did your golfing buddy also tell you why he didn't give me the department?" "Only what he told you, darling." Oscar, unnerved by Julia's anger, tried to pacify her. "That he thought that while Darren was young, he had a lot of potential." Julia concentrated on keeping calm. If she let herself think about what Oscar was saying, she'd explode and make a nasty mess on his leather upholstery. "This is all old ground, Oscar, and not getting us anywhere. But I think you must realise now that we're not suited." Seeing him about to prove her wrong, she hurried on. "There are lots of supergirls out there who would—" She faltered. Was there anyone willing to be a 1950s wife at the beginning of the new millennium? "Who would appreciate your many good qualities and recognise what a catch you are. You're very attractive and supremely eligible, Oscar. It's just me you're not right for." She picked up her handbag and fumbled for the door handle. He put out a hand to stop her getting out. "And this canal business? What's that all about? You've walked out on a perfectly decent career working for a very sound chap, and behaved very badly while you were about it, may I remind you." Julia wanted to laugh. At the time she'd been too angry, but in retrospect her departure from the office had had its funny side. Having heard her extremely toned-down version of her reasons for leaving, Peter had reached out across the desk to pat her, saying, "Ugh." This patronising gesture had knocked over his coffee mug, which had been full. Coffee had spread all over his desk, which he kept clear to prove how efficient he was, and onto his trousers. He'd been distraught. "This suit is brand new. My wife will go mad. Do something before it stains, Julia, please." "Why don't you ask Darren?" she had replied coolly. "He's got a lot of potential." "But he won't know anything about coffee stains," Peter had gone on. "He's a man." "So he is. Shame." Julia had smiled with mock sympathy and walked out. "Now," she said mildly, "I don't think I behaved that badly. You can't blame me for not wanting to scrub away with tissues at Peter's crotch, now can you?" "Don't change the subject. You know nothing about this woman, or canals for that matter." "I'll know more about them both when I've had the interview. But I would have left strangers anyway. I'd been there too long. 6 years too long, she now realised. "You don't even know how much this woman is going to pay you. How will you make ends meet? Thought of that, have you?" "Of course. I'm not an idiot." Julia bit back her irritation. "I shall let my house. That'll cover the mortgage and the bills. Whatever I get paid will just be pocket money." "Pocket money? Ha!" "I'm young and single, Oscar. Well, youngish. I've got my feet on the housing ladder. So as long as I can pay the mortgage, I don't need to earn vast amounts. Anyway, perhaps the pay's good." She thought this as unlikely as he did, but since neither of them actually knew, she thought she might as well say it. "If people don't pay you, they don't value you." "I was paid well at Strange's, and what did that prove? But I don't value myself by my salary, and I don't expect anyone else to. Now, I really must go." This time she actually got the door open and her foot out before Oscar jumped in again. "My mother will be very disappointed about this. Very disappointed." "I think she'll be heartily relieved," said Julia, who had overheard an unflattering conversation about her age and her childbearing potential on the one occasion she and Oscar's mother had met. "This leaves you free to find someone younger and more biddable." Oscar flushed to hear his mother's words echoed. Julia kissed his cheek.